In a moment, the Vice-chancellor of Macquarie University, Professor Bruce Doughton, accompanied by the academic procession, will enter the graduation hall. When the procession has arrived on stage, Advance Australia Fair will be performed, and you are invited to join in the singing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the academic procession.
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, members of the university, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Mr. Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Wujingini, everyone. Good evening and Nalawa. Welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country and its people, and to thank the university for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this evening. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family, in fact, descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it, So he enrolled his daughter, Bulungari, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We're very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here this evening. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now, that was probably better understood in more traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by strict sharing laws, which meant that the food you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community. And you in turn are looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to invite them as a model or a benchmark for yourselves on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here just over 200 years ago, he encountered a people whom he described as one of the happiest people he had ever met. Now, they owned nothing but the tools they carried, made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and harvested food from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. Now, these were not primitive societies, these were ancient cultures. So there was no slavery, no armies, no rich and poor, no rents or mortgages, and no homelessness. People cooperated to collect the resources that were needed, and then they were shared out according to strict law. Our lands were maintained with fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they've done here for the past 20,000 years. So this is not an ideal or some dream. This was normal life for us for the longest time, and not too long ago either. And there's no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us, but we're a clever people, and there's still much magic in the world, I believe. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is good, and we are meant to be happy. I would suggest, though, you share your gifts with the rest of us and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far. Do this, and I'm confident that together we can put together a country and a world that we can be proud of, and a future that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you graduate. I just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you and welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Vice-chancellor of Macquarie University, Professor Bruce Doughton, to preside at this evening's ceremony.
Well, Chris Tobin, thank you for your warm and traditionally informative welcome to country. It's wonderful to have you here for all of our graduations. I really appreciate it, as does everyone here this evening. Thank you again so much for being here. Well, colleagues, guests, family and friends of our graduands, and most importantly, of course, the graduating class. It is my distinct honour and pleasure to welcome you here today to this graduation ceremony. I bring you, our graduands and your guests, the greetings of our Chancellor, the Honourable Michael Egan AO, who's not able to be here this evening, and the members of the University's Governing Council. I hope this will be a very happy and memorable occasion for each of you. Now, I did see as I came in a number of small children. I actually saw a very small baby as I came in, and I want you to know as well that babies and children are very welcome at Macquarie University graduations. I believe that all celebrations are better if children are present. So make as much noise as you like, kids. Run around, have fun. I'm a paediatrician by background. I can assure you I've heard far worse commotion in my consulting rooms when I practiced medicine. If the Chancellor were here, he would note that he is a retired, distinguished politician for a long while. He has heard far worse rancour on the floor of the House of Parliament than any number of children could possibly cause. So have a great time. Children, run around, enjoy yourselves. Now today we celebrate the wonderful achievements of those of you about to graduate. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind, determination and perseverance, and you indeed need to make many sacrifices along the way as well. You've all worked very hard to get here this evening and have every right to feel very proud of your achievements. We at the university are just as proud of those accomplishments, and it will be my great pleasure this evening to greet each of you personally and congratulate you. I also want to especially welcome the family, friends and supporters to my left and down to my right at the back. As family and supporters of our graduands, the fact that you've been invited here this evening is proof positive that you have also played a very important role and influence on the lives of our graduands here this evening. So to our invited guests, congratulations to you as well, and thank you for being here to celebrate this wonderful occasion of high ceremony with us. Now, graduands, you may not realise it, but you are about to embark upon one of Europe's oldest social rituals. If you were to pick a date of, say, 1500 AD and look back and see what institutions were around back then that are still present here today in the world, there are about 60. If you leave aside the Roman Catholic Church, the parliaments of England, Iceland and the Isle of Man, and 6 Swiss cantons or local government areas, the rest are all universities. In fact, graduation ceremonies are even older than that. For more than 800 years, graduates have been donning gowns just like the gowns being worn by you, our graduands here tonight, and participating in ceremonies just like this ceremony. And since those earliest graduations, the ceremony has remained almost entirely unchanged, a defining feature of the life of every university and its students. Now, we all realise, ladies and gentlemen, that Macquarie University is not one of those ancient universities, since we are just over 50 years old. Though we are among the youngest universities in the world, we are very proud to take part in this time-honoured ceremony here this evening. Youth, however, I believe, does have its advantages. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We are regarded as one of Australia's leading research-intensive universities, and are continually progressing by extending our research, our course offerings and improving our facilities. We now have more than 190,000 graduates spread across 140 countries around the world. It's very clear that we are forward-looking and on the move. However, some of the things that we value so much here at Macquarie University, I anticipate and hope will never change. Over my 6+ years having the great privilege of leading this university, I've had many visitors note to me the friendliness of our staff and students. I anticipate that will always be so, and graduands, please remember you will always be welcome to come back to Macquarie University. We proudly take our name from a man whom I believe was Australia's greatest colonial governor, Governor Lachlan Macquarie. A man whose greatest achievements were never acknowledged by his contemporaries, but only by the passage of time and history. Those of us educated in New South Wales learned that Macquarie was a great builder, and that is certainly true. If you look at the colonial buildings in downtown Sydney and some of the outskirts suburbs, you see many fine buildings erected at his instruction. But I believe it was the ethos that he established, much I would say to the annoyance of the British authorities at the time, of an egalitarian society, that is the true mark of who Macquarie was. Because it was Macquarie's insistence that there be no distinction between a free man and a freed man. That is, if you had come to the colony as a convict and served your time, you were to be treated no differently than someone who had come as a free settler or as a member of the garrison and who had stayed on. And that, we believe, is the foundation of the Australian notion of a fair go for everyone, an egalitarian society. And that is certainly the legacy that here at Macquarie University we will always aim to maintain and honour. Now, notwithstanding Macquarie's greatness on many fronts, it is fair to acknowledge that some of his actions would not pass muster today at all. Removing Aboriginal children from their families, even for the purpose of their own education, would certainly not be tolerated today. I wonder how many things we accept today that we will look back on in the future with a sense of shame. One of the attributes that I hope that Macquarie University will impart to all of our students is the capacity for moral and ethical reflection, and a yearning always to help right the wrongs, not just of the past, but of our own time. Macquarie University will always be a leader in teaching and learning, and a leader in the accumulation of wisdom, knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. Ladies and gentlemen, academic and professional colleagues, and most importantly our graduands, I offer you the warmest of welcomes to Macquarie University here on this grand ceremonial occasion. And in just a few moments it will be my great honour to confer upon our graduands the degrees for which you have qualified and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. It is now my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce our occasional speaker, Professor Roger Chung. Professor Chung is the Professor of Neurobiology and Neurochemistry here at Macquarie University, and since 2014 has held the position of Associate Dean Research in the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. Professor Chung completed his PhD studies in molecular biology in 2003 at the University of Tasmania, and between 2004 and 2012 at that university he led a research program that developed a new molecular therapy for nerve regeneration, which is entering clinical trials this year. This research led to his award of the Tasmanian Premier's Young Achiever of the Year award. In 2012, he moved to Macquarie University to establish Australia's first motor neurone disease research program in the laboratory, which now has more than 80 researchers dedicated towards understanding and ultimately beating that dreadful disease. We have one of the largest motor neurone disease-focused research centres in the world on this very campus. I now invite Professor Roger Chung to deliver the occasional address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Chung.
Vice-chancellor, fellow members of faculty, staff, distinguished guests, graduates and your families and friends. It is my great pleasure to provide this occasional address this evening as we celebrate the achievements of you, our graduates. So normally the occasional address would be given by a previous Macquarie graduate who has gone on to great achievements during their career, or a successful member of the community who has been recognised for their achievements through the award of an honorary degree by the university. Unfortunately, I hate to say you've lucked out tonight because I'm neither. I completed my undergraduate and PhD studies at the University of Tasmania, as the Vice-chancellor told you, and I'm unlikely to be a future Macquarie graduate unless the Vice-chancellor has a surprise in his back pocket and has an honorary doctorate there for me. But I have a strong affection for Macquarie University. I've worked here for the past 7 years, and I can see some of you here who have been lucky or perhaps unlucky enough to have been on the other end of my teaching later last year, and certainly some of the PhD students graduating tonight as well. So I therefore feel personally privileged to be amongst the first to congratulate you, each of you, on your degrees that you're being awarded tonight from Macquarie University. So in thinking about how to address you this evening, I actually first sought the advice of the Vice-chancellor. So on Wednesday, which is only 2 days ago, so clearly I share something with most of you, I'm a last-minute exam crammer. I went and asked the Vice-chancellor for advice, and his directive in his booming voice was to be short and sweet, to be funny, and to remember it's Friday evening. It's the last graduation ceremony of the entire sequence, and he wants to relax and enjoy his weekend away in his new holiday house. So I will do my best to keep this short and sweet. So I thought it would be good to reflect upon my own time studying at university and the impact this had on my career and what makes Macquarie special to me. You, I think, will have your own special memories of your time studying here at university. For me, I was lucky enough to meet some of my closest friends at university. I have fond memories of classes. We had some epic moments, inside class and outside of class, obviously at the uni bar. And most importantly, I met my wife at university. But really, I think the inspiration from my research career arose during my university studies. I think it's fair to say I genuinely didn't know what I wanted to do when I started university. I think you can hear from my voice, I'm obviously an Australian-born Chinese. So my family's actually, I'm fifth generation, so my family's been here for more than 100 years. And the dream of my family for those 5 generations was for us to go to university. And so I ended up at university, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And it was really only as I progressed through my undergraduate studies that I found my first inspiration. I heard some lectures on spinal cord injury and regeneration, and that really sparked my curiosity in biology and neuroscience. And that's what's underpinned my personal interests in my career ever since. But I think you can probably tell that my love for university life is strong, because I've spent my entire professional career working in the universities here in the US and in Australia. But what makes Macquarie special to me, and I think the Vice-chancellor's touched on this, and I think the best way for me to explain it is what I've done here in the past 7 years. So in 2011, after 10 years of research at the University of Tasmania, I was lucky enough to reach a milestone medical research achievement. A drug discovery that I had made in my PhD studies showed promising outcomes in preclinical trials for the treatment of nerve injury, so to promote nerve regeneration after a brain injury, and also for the treatment of Alzheimer's disease, to remove the amyloid plaques that cause that disease. This discovery was patented by the University of Tasmania, and ultimately the drug has been licensed off to a small Australian biotech company who are now proceeding into clinical trials. But what next? I mean, it's an odd feeling when you've had a project that runs for 12 years and suddenly it's completed. What do you do? You know, it actually feels a little bit empty, and it took me a while to think about what to do moving forwards. And I actually drew inspiration from a gentleman that I'd met some years ago in my PhD studies, a chap called Kevin from the northwest coast of Tasmania. He's a lovely guy who always enjoyed a coffee and a chat, really to share his passion about a singular topic, and that was to kick goals for beating motor neuron disease. So Kevin had been living with motor neuron disease for more than 10 years. He had a very rare form of the disease. And he wanted to know why we, as researchers, had not yet found a cure. He determinedly prodded me to think seriously about why we hadn't solved it and how we would achieve that. And the observation I settled upon was that at the time in Australia, motor neuron disease research was fragmented across the country, with small teams working in many different universities, but lacking, I guess, coordination, collaboration, and critical mass. And so that was my next career step. It was quite clear. I had to establish Australia's first motor neuron disease research centre. Gee, that sounds easy, doesn't it? Come and figure that one out. So after convincing 4 other motor neuron disease research teams, who I didn't know and didn't really know at all, that it was a good idea, I prepared a 117-page business case. I actually pulled it out this morning to have a look at it. It's like that, it's enormous. And I secured some philanthropic support, and then it was time to present the opportunity to several universities. Now, you might imagine that standing on a stage like this in front of hundreds of people is scary. I can tell you now, it's nothing compared to being in the Shark Tank room. You know, just a couple of people staring at you as you pitch your harebrained idea to them. Now, obviously, I did something right, because in 2003 we launched the Macquarie University Centre for Motor Neuron Disease Research, which is Australia's first motor neuron disease dedicated research centre. And we started with about 20 researchers. Today we're about 85 researchers who are passionately dedicated towards beating motor neuron disease. And a key feature of our research centre is the intimate link we have with our patients and their families. This is centred around the largest motor neuron disease clinic in Australia, which is based here, led by Professor Dominic Rowe. Patients and their families generously provide blood and DNA samples to our motor neuron disease biobank, and this is the key resource that allows us to understand the molecular origins of the disease and start to unlock potential disease-modifying therapies. I genuinely think it's fair to say that I don't think this could have been achieved at another university, and I think this demonstrates the ambition of Macquarie to be distinctive and to translate research into significant impact. And I think you can see this across many facets of our university life. Through our educational programs, and some of you today are graduating from our Bachelor of Clinical Sciences program. In fact, we're the only university in Australia to have our own hospital, and we're delivering world-changing research impact across a wide and diverse area of topics. I guess for you as graduates, I reflect back upon my own graduation ceremony, and I think it's fair to say this is not a journey that I expected or imagined. I mean, who knew that the original spark of inspiration I found during my undergraduate lectures would lead me to where I am today? And so that brings me to think about my take-home message for you as graduands. You're graduating in an exciting time. When I graduated 20 years ago, we were just at the very beginning of what has now become the genomics era. The human genome had just been sequenced. Many types of cancers had low expected survival rates, and we poorly understood the molecular origin of neurodegenerative diseases. Fast forward to today, and technological advances have revolutionised the field. An individual can now have their own genome sequenced, and they can predict the likelihood of developing some diseases. We can now determine the specific mutations that cause a tumour in an individual patient, and this allows targeted therapies that have transformed cancer treatment. In my own area, we've identified mutations in more than 20 genes that cause motor neuron disease, and currently in my own lab, we're developing gene therapies that may allow us to permanently correct these defects and therefore halt the disease in its tracks. But with these advances come new challenges. For example, how do we ensure moral and ethical use of these emerging gene therapy technologies? And how do we make these medicines affordable or economically sustainable? The first gene therapy for a rare disease was released several years ago, and it cost $1 million per patient, and only one patient was ever treated before that company went bankrupt. Clearly, this represents major challenges for us, but it also identifies opportunities for bright young university graduates to tackle. What an exciting time to be graduating. So therefore, I summarise by hoping that you have found your spark of inspiration during your studies here at Macquarie. Maybe you won't know it yet, like I did. I wish you the very best as you pursue your ambitions, and I think you can tell from my own story, my advice to you is don't hold back and back yourself. And I expect that your experiences here at Macquarie will prove valuable in your journey. I encourage you to remember your Macquarie family and to stay in touch. My congratulations to all graduands and your families and friends this evening.
Well, graduands there, I think we have among the an occasional address among the finest traditions of occasional addresses with peppered throughout their graduands very good advice for you. Just look at the perseverance, look at the endurance to stay on a subject for so long to get to that ultimate goal and then redirect after that. And I think also particularly the notation Professor Chung made early on about remembering the people that you've been with in university. You will have made, most of you I imagine, some of those folks who will be your best friends for the rest of your lives. Nurture that, cherish that, stay in touch, be connected. I think Professor Chung deserves another great round of applause. Thank you again. Now, as Vice-chancellor of Macquarie University, I especially look forward to presiding at ceremonies such as today's and conferring degrees upon those who have complied with all of the university's requirements for such awards. I now call upon our Registrar, Ms. Gail White, to formally certify the eligibility of all those who have met the requirements of the university. If the Chancellor were here, he would also be asking for a guarantee that none of you ever submitted an assignment late, that you always turned up to class on time. Can you give me these certifications, Ms. White?
Yes. Vice-chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
In the name of the Macquarie University Council and by my authority delegated from the Council as Vice-Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees and awards for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Graduates, please be seated. Vice-Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences with the Faculty of Science and Engineering. I now call upon Professor Patrick McNeill, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Medicine and Health and Executive Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, to present the graduates from his faculty. Professor McNeill.
Vice-Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony from the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, which has 4 departments: Biomedical Sciences, Clinical Medicine, Health Professions, and Health Systems and Populations, as well as a research-focused institute, the Australian Institute of Health Innovation. The faculty is a core component of the Macquarie University Health Sciences Centre, known as MQ Health, which is a unique academic health enterprise in Australia, as Macquarie is the only university that integrates its learning and research with clinical practice here on campus at our own Macquarie University Hospital and MQ Health clinics. MQ Health provides the opportunity for students enrolled within the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences to learn or to undertake research in an environment where real clinical practice is occurring. The faculty is proud of the way it integrates its learning and its health and medical research with patient care, captured by the purpose of MQ Health in 3 words: heal, learn, discover. Students in the faculty are studying undergraduate degrees, specifically the Bachelor of Clinical Science, or a number of postgraduate coursework or research degrees. These include our new graduate entry medical degree, the Doctor of Medicine, graduate diplomas, the Master of Public Health, the Master of Research, the Doctor of Physiotherapy, the Doctor of Advanced Medicine or Surgery, and our premier research degree, the Doctor of Philosophy. The majority of graduates to be presented today are graduating with the faculty's Bachelor of Clinical Science. I will also be presenting graduates who have completed their research degrees at master's and doctorate level. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences whom you have admitted to degrees. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Clinical Science: Varshana Janaki Maharani Baldeo. Celeste Patricia Ruth Bernard Chandler. Alicia Lee Brown. Natasha Louise Byrne. Holly Duggan. Sarah Jane Eads. Daniel Lloyd Evett. Annabelle Ferrari. Shelley Fowler. Christina Gabonian. Daniel Grace. Ellie Elizabeth Hibbard. Samuel Harrell. Rita Kaluzny. Rachel Louise Lutfi. Liberty Marison. Daniel Luke Mason, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Gareth James Mason, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Natalie Elizabeth McHale. Alexandra Moore. Annabelle Brooke Namofsky. Charlotte Jane Elizabeth Officer, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Natalie Anne-Marie Pirikic. Kiara Celine Rogers. Tufik Safi. Harsheen Kaur Saran. Harrison Smith. Swati Veer. Betty Wang. I present the graduate from the Faculty of Human Sciences, admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Human Sciences, Sadiq Aidid. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Doctor of Physiotherapy, Andrew Du Hai Li Tang. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Public Health, Laura Eliza Dodds. Janet Mazai, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Warisha Sadiq A. Sananda. Ranjita Shah. David Stewart Thompson, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Vice-chancellor, I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Research with Distinction, Rhianid Thomas, for a thesis entitled Outcomes of End-of-Range Axilla Splinting in Children Following Burn Injury. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Research, Sandrine Kim Kiao Chan Mao Phot, for a thesis entitled Investigating Amyotrophic Lateral Sclerosis Candidate Genes. Mitra Elmi, for a thesis entitled Investigating Blood Plasma Levels of Cytokines and amyloid beta as potential diagnostic biomarkers for preclinical Alzheimer's disease. Elizabeth Kate Havyat, for a thesis entitled Barriers and Facilitators to Providing Pulmonary Rehabilitation to Individuals from Culturally and Linguistically Diverse Backgrounds. Janine Slyman, for a thesis entitled Glycomic Profiles of Interferon Gamma-Treated Melanoma Cells May Indicate Patient Response to Immunotherapy. Owen Thomas Watson, for a thesis entitled Gene Expression Profiling of Peripheral Blood in Sporadic and C9orf72 associated amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Durdana Chowdhury for a thesis entitled Dry Surface Biofilm, a persistent source of pathogens in hospital decontamination and infection control. Dr. Nyan Yi Kin for a thesis entitled The Role of a Universal Vascular Access System in Loco-Regional Chemotherapy for Solid Tumours. Dr. Sinjua Subramanian for a thesis entitled Stable Thrombus Formation on Irradiated Microvascular Endothelial Cells using Vascular Targeting Agents under pulsatile flow, prothrombotic treatment for brain arteriovenous malformations. Vice-Chancellor, that completes this evening's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences.
Vice-Chancellor, I now call on Professor Bernard Mons, Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Science and Engineering, to present the graduates from his faculty.
Vice-Chancellor, the graduates at these ceremonies are from the Faculty of Science and Engineering. This faculty teaches programs across the full breadth of the science and engineering. While there are many challenges facing the world, there are also endless possibilities to problem solve, think creatively, and change society for the better. From finding new ways to feed 10 billion people to fighting cybercrime and keeping our data safe, our researchers at Macquarie University are using innovative techniques to tackle global challenges. The faculty is committed to excellence in our teaching, research, innovation, and engagement in science and engineering. We conduct research that has a significant impact on scientific knowledge and on the well-being and prosperity of individuals and societies. We provide an enriched student learning experience through scholarship and engagement to enhance employability. We have close links with industry and are building firm future partnership, especially with companies located nearby in Macquarie Park. Australia needs more STEM graduates who have the skills to make real change and shape our collective future. So today is an important day, where we celebrate our most recent STEM graduates. This ceremony includes graduates from the discipline of biological sciences. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Science and Engineering who have admitted to degrees. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the degree of Bachelor of Science, Lauren Isabel Stovholt. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Advanced Science, Nathan Barry Philip Bilby. Benjamin Carter. Vincenzo Costa. Gemma Haldo. Sean Huntley. Leila Eileen Janice Cabaran. Benson Rudolph Koczynski, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Brianne Christine Logier-Kitchener, who has been awarded the Macquarie Award for Academic Excellence. Helen Middleton. Jonathan Mifsud. Simon Oleksan. Lauren Ann Pollett. Lara Elizabeth Sharp. Olivia Turnbull. Adnan Vahanvati. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Biodiversity and Conservation. Alex Marie Piera de Jersey. Lore Alexandra Dick. Nicholas Hansen. Camille Yu. Candice May Croker. Sarah Marshall. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Health, Nathan Kachamo. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Information Technology, Zach David Warhan. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Marine Science, Jacqueline Bird. Luke Clay. Nicole Hayes. Carly Rochelle Novel. Megan Trethewey. Melanie Walsh. Audrey Rose Watson. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Medical Sciences. Kayla Marie Modena Habel. Rada Al Hassan. Maria Anagnostou. Sarah Artisan. Renee Catherine Beale. Alexander Comerford, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Darcy Corbett. Sarah Darcy. Trisha May Alegre Emoneta. Misaki Iruchi. Amanda Kindle. Brandon Daming Lau. Catherine Mai. Alicia Shinu Mathieu. Areti Efremia Milou. Catherine Moore. Jared Nekipelov. Sabera Nouri. Aldo Stewart Perdomo Quintanilla. Marisa Poulos. Petar Radivojevic. Mark Daniel Rawlings. Janula Ridzu. Kathleen Emma Sams. Samuel Santos. Navi C. Shreya Kairav Shah, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Naga Ramya Srusti Vamaraju. Emmeline Shime Wee. Our present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science. Masuma Al-Houd Sani. Matthew Anthony Alfonsetti. Fatima Ali. Samuel Anderson. Angela Marie Bagnato. Etun Barak Ben Sefa. Kiran Beskin. Tara Marie Boham, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Eloise India May Carpenter. Lorraine Colt. Lily Dunlop. Lauren Eldershaw. Cameron Lee Farmer. Barbara Marie Freeman. Chloe Jacqueline Hyde. Mirabelle James. Catherine Lizana. Ian Mark Lunt. Lauren Marie McLean. James Madden. Roger McKinley. Justin Michael McNabb. Luke Mitchell. Joseph Sidney Muir. Timothée Etienne Roman Niederer. Gabriela Rebecca Ostrin. Ian June Park. Rebecca Ann Powderly. Jason Previti. Joseph Rovetto. Melina Erin Serrano. Shara Silk. Heidi Sinclair. Estathia Tanopoulos. Cooper van der Waal. Heidi Louise Weck, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Liesel Marie Whitewick. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Conservation Biology. Michelle Barbara Chapman. Natalie Gray. Callum Rutherford. Michaela Jade Symes. Hanu Vijayan. I present the graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Research with Distinction. Kellyanne Lawler for a thesis entitled Radiolaren-based Quaternary Paleoclimate Reconstruction of the Sabrina Coast, East Antarctica. I present the graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Research. Alexander Robert Carey for a thesis entitled Landscape Genetic Connectivity and Sex-Specific Response in a Range of Expanding Damselfly. Ida Caroline Lohnbeck for a thesis entitled A Comparative Study of Anthropogenic Antimicrobial Pollution on Australia's Little Penguins. Lachlan Roberts Phillips for a thesis entitled Seasonal to Decadal Scale Dynamics of the East Australian Currents Identified using a Novel Machine Learning Approach. Thomas Matthew Pine for a thesis entitled Local Adaptation to Climate in Sydney Sandstone Plant Species. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Lincoln Patrick Critchley for a thesis entitled Ecological Effects of Coastal Armoring on Sedimentary Shorelines. Dr. Laura Martina Fernandez for the thesis entitled Impact of the Invasive Pathogen Ostra puccina psidi, or myrtle rust, on Australian native communities. Dr. Mohamed Mohasinul Haq for a thesis entitled Knowns and Unknowns, an assessment for knowledge shortfalls in a digitized collection of Australia's flora. Dr. Vanessa Pirota for a thesis entitled Conceptual and Practical Approaches to Aid the Conservation of Cetaceans. Dr. Samia Tabassum for a thesis entitled Living on the Edge, Ecological and Evolutionary Mechanism of Range Expansion in Invasive Species. Dr. Kaya Agnieszka Wiruka, who under co-tutelle joint PhD agreement jointly supervised with Université Paris-Saclay for a thesis entitled Multimodal Mother-Offspring Recognition in the Australian Sea Lion, Neophoca cinerea. Dr. Jessica Verity Wilkes for a thesis entitled Temporal and Spatial Variability of the Phytoplankton Fluxes in the Australian and New Zealand sector of the Southern Ocean. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Research with Distinction and the University Medal for Biology. Timothy Michael Galley for a thesis entitled Ecology of the Integrin Gene Cassette Metagenome. Vice-chancellor, that completes this evening's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Science and Engineering.
Vice-Chancellor, I call on Dr. Samia Tabassum, who has graduated this evening with a Doctor of Philosophy, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Dr. Tabassum.
Members of the university, fellow graduates and guests. It is an honour to have been chosen to represent the graduates here today for this momentous occasion. I hope that what I have to say is able to resonate with all of you. Although I stand here before you to give an address on behalf of all the graduates today, I know that everyone's journey to get to this point has been unique and worthy of their own graduation speech. For my PhD, I was given the opportunity to travel 8,000 kilometres along Australia's beautiful coastline to study coastal plants. Looking back at this experience now, I know that the person I was before I started this journey, I could never have imagined that I could do this. I have grown so much as a person through my journey at Macquarie. I've been able to nurture my strengths, and also I've endeavoured to overcome my weaknesses, one of which, ironically, is public speaking. Today is not just about celebrating our success, but also an opportunity to reflect on our journeys, the amazing highs we have all cherished, and the crushing lows that we have all overcome. Each of us has persevered through sleepless nights and self-doubt to ultimately realize that we can succeed and make valuable contributions to our respective fields. Today is not only about marking a key milestone in our lives, but also to celebrate the qualities that we have gained through our experiences, our diligent work ethic, our drive to succeed, and our thirst for knowledge. I take this opportunity now to thank all the people who have allowed us to reach this point. Our supervisors, lecturers, and tutors, who have inspired and encouraged us to question everything and to never stop learning. I would also like to thank all the people in the background, our families, partners, loved ones, and friends. Thank you for all the love and support through the years and reminding us that we are more than just our degrees. I wish each and every one of you the utmost success in your chosen life paths. I hope we can take forth what we have learnt as graduates and nurture and refine those skills to ultimately become the next generation of thinkers and innovators. I hope you follow your passion, find your purpose, and grab every opportunity that you can. I wish everyone the best of luck as we dive headfirst into a new chapter of our lives. So I'll leave you now with a quote from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Goodbye, and thank you for all the fish. Thank you.
Well, there again we have a wonderful responsory address from Dr. Tabassum here tonight. Congratulations on your PhD, and no one would have possibly guessed you had any fear of public speaking ever in your life, I don't think. It was wonderful. And again, worthy of reflection for our graduates here tonight, just the perseverance, all that driving to study coastal plants, our advice about really, you folks are the next generation of thinkers and innovators. That's a responsibility. I think Dr. Tabassum deserves another great round of applause. Thank you again. Ladies and gentlemen, that wonderful operatic voice belongs to Ms. Angela Brewer, and we're very lucky, graduates at Macquarie University, to have Ms. Brewer come to sing at almost every graduation. Just occasionally she can't be along with us. On those occasions, the Chancellor does the singing, and I have heard him sing. And if he can't be here, he tells me I have to do the singing, so you're very lucky. Please do another great round of applause. Please join me in thanking also our wonderful musicians on the organ, Dr. James Forsyth. And on the Chinese transverse flute, Dr. Chai Chang-ing. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank our alumni volunteers who come along to help graduations run smoothly. Please join me in thanking them as well. Graduates, this ceremony marks a change in your relationship with Macquarie University, but is certainly not the end of your relationship with us. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of that bigger Macquarie family, our alumni, and part of that network, as I mentioned earlier, of now over 190,000 graduates spanning across the globe. We will keep in touch with you through the alumni office, and I hope you will come back to campus, perhaps to attend alumni events, to undertake more study perhaps, or to simply visit the beautiful campus and have a wander around. Graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but it also indeed carries responsibilities as well. I urge you to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning. I urge you to set ambitious goals for yourselves. I urge you to continue the hard work that has already brought you this far. I urge you also to think of how you might help out others along the way. You don't have to do much sometimes to make a very big difference in someone else's life. And you don't have to be Einstein to change the world either. Sometimes simply a kind gesture or a kind word can make an enormous difference to the recipient. So I urge you always to give thought to what you can do for others along the way as well. I challenge you to continue to exercise sound judgment and initiative, and to always be generous in offering practical advice and wisdom to those you meet along life's journey. My hope is that as graduates of Macquarie University, you will use what you have learned here not only for your own benefit and the betterment of your family, but also for the benefit and betterment of your communities as well. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. I hope you will also always remember the people who have helped you out along the way, many of whom are here this evening. So to acknowledge their contribution and to thank them for it, I'm now going to ask our graduates to do a couple of things for me. Firstly, I'd like you to all please stand. I'd like you to turn around and place your testimonies on the seats behind you and face your family and friends and give them a mighty round of applause in thanks. Now you might turn around, but don't sit down just yet. Here on the dais are representatives of our academic community who have supported you throughout your journey with us. Please join me in thanking them as well. Now, graduates, please remain standing, but do turn around and pick up your testimonies from the seat behind you. I wouldn't like you to leave those behind after all the hard work. Shortly, I will be leading the official party out of the courtyard, followed by the graduates. As we do, Dr. Forsyth will play the traditional recessional music of graduation, which has been played at ceremonies just like this over the centuries. An age-old set of Latin lyrics which begins as Gaudeamus igitur, Dom sumus juvenes. In translation, this graduation exit song starts out, "Therefore let us rejoice while we are young." The song speaks in a whimsical way of youth and old age at the very same time, at the brevity of life and the inevitability of death, of city, of state, and indeed of happiness. Again, to the newest graduates of Macquarie University, my warmest congratulations and every best wish for your lives to be filled with success, satisfaction, and most importantly, happiness. Now, might I please ask everyone to stand. Shortly, I will lead the official party out, followed by the graduates. I then invite you all to follow the procession down through the campus and join us for light refreshments at the Macquarie. In closing today's wonderful ceremony of celebration for your graduation, I say again, Gaudeamus igitur, therefore let us rejoice.